Test one. Test one. There we go. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another reading of the Bible. We're actually going to go forward a little bit to Judges. I think we're pretty caught up in Deuteronomy and Joshua. So we're going to do Judges today. And I have to chapter 3. Got to read a few of these. Because last time was, I'm way behind. So I'm going to read quite a few chapters here in Judges, beginning with chapter 3. So here we go. Now these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel by them. Prove, verse 1. Verse 1, 3, 1. Oh, test, yeah. To test or prove Israel by them. Even as many of Israel had not known all the wars of Canaan. Only that the generations of the children of Israel might know to teach, verse 2, or be taught to know, to teach them war at least, such as before knew nothing thereof. Namely, 5 lords of the Philistines, and all the Canaanites and the Sidonians, and the Hittites that dwell in the land, that dwell in Mount Lebanon, from Mount Baal Hermon unto the entering in of Hamath. They were to prove or test Israel by them, to know or be taught to know whether they would hearken unto the commandments of the Lord, which he commanded their fathers by the hand of Moses. The children of Israel dwelt among the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. They took their daughters to be their wives, and gave their daughters to their sons, and served their gods. The children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and forgate the Lord their God, and served Baalim and the groves. Verse 7. The groves, Baal's name or symbol, names or symbols of the Canaanite goddesses. Okay. Therefore the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he sold them into the hand of the Cushan Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia, and the children of Israel served Cushan Rishathaim 8 years. When the children of Israel cried unto the Lord raised up a deliverer to the children of Israel, who delivered them, even Othniel, the son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother. So, Othniel is Caleb's nephew. Interesting. The Spirit of the Lord came upon him, Othniel, and he judged Israel and went out to war, and the Lord delivered Kishan Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia, into his hand, and his hand prevailed against Cushan Rishathaim. The land had rest 40 years, and Othniel, the son of Kenaz, died. The children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord strengthened Eglon, the king of Moab, against Israel, because they had done evil in the sight of the Lord. He gathered unto him the children of Ammon and Amalek, and went to and smote Israel, and possessed the city of palm trees. So the children of Israel served Eglon, the king of Moab, 18 years. When the children of Israel cried unto the Lord raised up a deliverer, Ehud, the son of Gera, a Benjamite, the man left-handed. And by him the children of Israel sent a present unto Eglon, the king of Moab. But Ehud made him a dagger which had two edges of a cubit length, and he did gird girded under his raiment upon his right thigh. He brought the present unto Eglon, king of Moab, and Eglon was a very fat man. When he had made an end to offer the present, he sent away the people that bare the present. But he himself turned again from the quarries that were by Gilgal, and said, I have a secret errand unto thee, O king, who said, Keep silence. And all that stood by him went out from him. Ehud came unto him, and he was sitting in the summer parlor, which he had for himself, alone. Ehud said, I have a message from God unto thee. And he arose out of his seat. Ehud put forth his left hand, and took the dagger from his right thigh, and thrust it into his belly. The king into what is it? Eglon's belly. Eglon's belly. The haft went in. The haft, I think it's half of the knife. Let's see. Verse 20. Yeah. Oh, the handle. Excuse me. The handle also went in after the blade, and the fat closed up upon the blade, so that he could not draw the dagger out of his belly, and the dirt came out. Then Ehud went forth through the porch and shut the doors of the parlor upon him and locked them. When he was gone out, his servants came, and when they saw that, behold, the doors of the parlor were locked, they said, Surely he covereth his feet in the summer chamber. They tarried till they were ashamed, and behold, that he opened not the doors of the parlor. Therefore they took a key and opened them, and behold, the Lord was fallen down dead on the earth. Ehud escaped while they tarried, and passed beyond the quarries, and escaped unto Sirath. It came to pass when he was come that he blew a trumpet in the mountain of Ephraim, and the children of Israel went down with him from the mount, and he before them. He said unto them, Follow after me, for the Lord hath delivered your enemies, the Moabites, into your hand. And they went down after him. And he took the fords of Jordan toward Moab, and suffered not a man to pass over. They slew of Moab at that time about 10,000 men, all lusty and all men of valor, and there escaped not a man. So Moab was subdued that day under the hand of Israel, and the land had rest 80 years. That's 80 years. That's a long time. After him was Shamgar, the son of Anath, who slew the Philistines 600 men, who slew of the Philistines 600 men with an ox goad, and he also delivered Israel. Chapter 4. The children of Israel again did evil in the sight of the Lord when Ehud was dead. The Lord sold them into the hand of Jabin, king of Canaan, who reigned in Hazor, the captain of whose host was Sisera, who dwelt in Harosheth of the Gentiles. The children of Israel cried unto the Lord, and he had 900 chariots of iron. For he had 900 chariots of iron. In 20 years he mightily oppressed the children of Israel. This Jabin. Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lapidoth, she judged Israel at that time. She dwelt under the palm tree of Deborah between Ramah and Bethel in Mount Ephraim. And the children of Israel came up to her for judgment. She sent and called Barak, the son of Abinoam, out of Kadesh Naphtali, and said unto him, Hath not the Lord God of Israel commanded, saying, Go and draw toward Mount Tabor, and take with thee 10,000 men of the children of Naphtali and of the children of Zebulun. I will draw unto thee to the river Kishon Sisera, the captain of Jabin's army. with his chariots and his multitude, and I will deliver him unto thine hand. Barak said unto her, If thou wilt go with me, then I will go. But if thou wilt not go with me, then I will not go. She said, Deborah, I will surely go with thee, notwithstanding the journey that thou takest shall not be for thine honor, for the Lord shall sell Sisera into the hand of a woman. Deborah arose and went with Barak to Kadesh. Barak called Zebulun and Naphtali to Kadesh, and he went up with 10,000 men at his feet, and Deborah went up with him. Now Heber the Kenite, who was of the children of Hobab, the father-in-law of Moses, had severed himself from the Kenites, and pitched his tent unto the plains of Za'anaim, which is by Kadesh. They showed Sisera that Barak, a son of Abinoam, was gone up to Mount Tabor. Excuse me, Sisera gathered together all of his chariots, even 900 chariots of iron, and all the people that were with him from Harosheth of the Gentiles unto the river of Kishon. Deborah said unto Barak, Up, for this is the day in which the Lord hath delivered Sisera into thine hand. Is not the Lord gone out before thee? So Barak went down from Mount Tabor, and 10,000 men after him. The Lord discomfited Sisera and all his chariots and all his host with the edge of the sword before Barak, so that Sisera lighted down off of his chariot and fled away on his feet. But Barak pursued after the chariots and after the hosts unto Harosheth, of the Gentiles, and all the hosts of Sisera fell upon the edge of the sword, and there was not a man left. Howbeit Sisera fled away on his feet to the tent of Jael, the wife of Heber the Kenite, for there was peace between Jabin the king of Hazor and the house of Heber the Kenite. Jael went out to meet Sisera and said unto him, Turn in, my lord. Turn in, my lord, turn in to me. Fear not. And when he had turned in unto her into the tent, she covered him with a mantle. He said unto her, Give me, I pray thee, a little water to drink, for I am thirsty. And she opened a bottle of milk and gave him drink, and covered him. Again he said unto her, Stand in the door of the tent, and it shall be, when any man doth come to inquire of thee, and say, Is there any man here? That thou shalt say, No. Then Jael, Heber's wife, took a nail of the tent, took a hammer in her hand, and went softly unto him, and smote the nail into his temples, and fastened it unto the ground. So he was fast asleep and weary, so he died. Behold, as Barak pursued Sisera, Jael came out to meet him, and said unto him, Come, I will show thee the man whom thou seekest. And when he come into her tent, behold, Sisera lay dead, and the nail was in his temples. So God subdued on that day Jabin the king of Canaan before the children of Israel, and the hand of the children of Israel prospered. And prevailed against Jabin the king of Canaan until they had destroyed Jabin the king of Canaan. So that's chapter 4. Let me see here. My last reading was February 15th. Looking at my calendar, so give me a February 15th. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so up to chapter 11. Chapter 5. Then sang Deborah and Barak, the son of Abinoam, on that day, saying, Praise ye the Lord for the avenging of Israel, when the people willingly offered themselves. Hear, O ye kings, give ear, O ye princes. I, even I, will sing unto the Lord, and I will sing praise to the Lord God of Israel. Lord, when thou wentest out of Seir, when thou marched, don't need the ST at the end there, in King James, out of the field of Edom, the earth trembled and the heavens dropped. The clouds also dropped water. The mountains melted from before the Lord, even at Sinai from before the Lord God of Israel. In the days of Shamgar, the son of Anath, in the days of Jael, the highways were unoccupied, and the travelers walked through byways. The inhabitants of the villages ceased. They ceased in Israel until that I, Deborah, arose, that I also arose a mother in Israel. They chose new gods, small g. Then was war. Then was war in the gates. Was there a shield or spear among 40,000 of Israel? My heart is toward the governors of Israel, who offer themselves willingly among the people. Bless ye the Lord. Speak, ye that ride on white donkeys, ye that sit in judgment and walk by the way, that they who are delivered from the noise of archers in the places of drawing water, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord, even the righteous acts toward the inhabitants of his villages in Israel. Then shall the people of the Lord go down to the gates. Awake, awake, Deborah. Awake, awake, utter a song. Arise, Barak, and lead thy captivity captive, thou son of Abinoam. Abinoam, Abinoam. Then he made him that remaineth, who remaineth, have dominion over the nobles among the people. The Lord made me have dominion over the mighty. Out of Ephraim was there a root of them against Amalek. After thee, Benjamin, among thy people. Out of Machir came down governors. Out of Zebulun, they who handle the pen of the writer. The princes of Issachar were with Deborah, even Issachar and also Barak. He was sent on foot into the valley. For the divisions of Reuben there were great thoughts of heart. Why abodest thou among the sheepfolds, to hear the bleating of the flocks? For the divisions of Reuben there were great searchings of heart. Gilead abode beyond Jordan. And why did Dan remain in ships? Asher continued on the seashore and abode in his breaches. Zebulun and Naphtali were a people that jeoparded their lives unto the death in the high places of the field. The kings came and fought. Then fought the kings of Canaan in Taanach by the waters of Megiddo. They took no gain of money. They fought from heaven, the stars in their courses fought against Sisera. The river of Kishon swept them away, that ancient river, the river Kishon. O my soul, thou hast trodden down strength. Then were the horse hoofs broken by the means of the prancings of their mighty ones. Curse ye Meroz, Meroz, said the angel of the Lord. Curse ye Meroz, said the angel of the Lord. Curse ye bitterly the inhabitants thereof, because they came not to the help of the Lord, against the mighty. Blessed above women shall Jael, the wife of Heber to Kenai, be. Blessed shall she be above women in the tent. He asked water, and she gave him milk. She brought forth butter in the lordly dish. She put her hand to the nail, and her right hand to the workman's hammer, and with the hammer she smote Sisera. She smote off his head. Then when she had pierced and stricken through his temples, At her feet he bowed, he fell, he lay down. At her feet he bowed, he fell where he bowed. There he fell down dead. The mother of Sisera looked out at a window and cried through the lattice, why is his chariot so long in coming? Why tarry the wheels of his chariots? Her wise ladies answered her. Yea, she returned answer to herself. Have they not sped? Have they not divided the prey? To every man a damsel or two. To Sisera a prey of divers colors. A prey of divers colors of needlework. Of divers colors of needlework on both sides. Meat for the necks of them that take the spoil. So let all thine enemies perish, O Lord. But let them who love him be as the sun when he goeth down in his might. And the land had rest 40 years. Chapter 6, let's see. Get that again, March. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, 14. Oh, sorry, I read it wrong. Hold on. 50, yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so sorry, chapter 14. Chapter 6. I'm reading 2:14. The children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord delivered them into the hand of Midian 7 years. The hand of Midian prevailed against Israel. And because of the Midianites, the children of Israel made them the dens which are in the mountains, and caves and strongholds. So it was when Israel had sown that the Midianites came up, and the Amalekites and the children of the east, even they came up against them. They encamped against them and destroyed the increase of the earth, till thou come unto Gaza, and left no sustenance for Israel, neither sheep, nor ox, nor donkey. For they came up with their cattle and their tents, and they came as grasshoppers for multitude. For both they and their camels were without number. And they entered into the land to destroy it. Israel was greatly impoverished because of the Midianites, and the children of Israel cried unto the Lord. It came to pass when the children of Israel cried unto the Lord because of the Midianites that the Lord sent a prophet unto the children of Israel, who said unto them, Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, I brought you up from Egypt and brought you forth out of the house of bondage. I delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians and out of the hand of all that oppressed you, and drave them out from before you, and gave you their land. I said unto you, I am the Lord your God. Fear not the gods, small g, fear not the gods of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell, but ye have not obeyed my voice. There came an angel of the Lord, and sat under an oak, which was an Ophrah, that pertained unto Joash, the Abizarite, and his son Gideon threshed wheat by the winepress to hide it from the Midianites. The angel of the Lord appeared unto him and said unto him, The Lord is with thee, thou mighty man of valor. Gideon said unto him, the angel, O my Lord, if the Lord be with us, why then is all this befallen us? And where be all his miracles, which our fathers told us of, saying, Did not the Lord bring us up from Egypt? But now the Lord hath forsaken us, and delivered us into the hand hands of the Midianites. The Lord looked upon him and said, Go in this thy might, and thou shalt save Israel from the hand of the Midianites. Have I not sent thee? He said unto them, Gideon, O my Lord, wherewith shall I say? Said unto the Lord, Gideon said unto the Lord, O my Lord, wherewith shall I save Israel? Behold, my family is poor in Manasseh, and I am the least in my father's house. The Lord said unto him, Surely I will be with thee, and thou shalt smite the Midianites as a one man. He said unto him, If now I have found grace in thy sight, and show me a sign that thou talkest with me, depart not hence, I pray thee, until I come unto thee, and bring forth my present, and set it before thee. He said, I will tarry until you come again. Gideon went in and made ready a kid of goats, and unleavened cakes of an ephah of flour. The flesh he put in the basket, and he put the broth in a pot, and brought it out unto him under the oak, and presented it. The angel of God said unto him, Take the flesh and the unleavened cakes, and lay them upon this rock, and pour out the broth. And he did so. Then the angel of the Lord put forth the end of the staff that was in his hand. It touched the flesh and the unleavened cakes, and there rose up fire out of the rock, and consumed the flesh and the unleavened cakes. Then the angel of the Lord departed out of his sight. When Gideon perceived that he was an angel of the Lord, Gideon said, At last, O Lord God, for because I have seen an angel of the Lord face to face. The Lord said unto Gideon, Peace be unto thee. Fear not, thou shalt not die. Then Gideon built an altar there unto the Lord, and called it Jehovah Shalom, God of peace, probably. Or the Lord of peace, let's see. Yep, got it. Lord is peace, or the Lord of peace. Okay. Oh, excuse me, sorry. Almost lost my place there. Jehovah Shalom, God of peace, or Lord of peace. Unto this day it is yet in Ophrah of the Abazarites. It came to pass the same night that the Lord said unto him, Take thy father's young bullock, even the second bullock of 7 years old, and throw down the altar of Baal that thy father hath, and cut down the grove that is by it. Build an altar unto the Lord thy God upon the top of this rock, in the ordered place, and take the second bullock, and offer a burnt sacrifice with the wood of the grove, which thou shalt cut down. Sorry. Then Gideon took 10 men of his servants, and did as the Lord had sent unto him. And so it was, because he feared his father's household and the men of the city, that he could not do it by the day, that he did it by night. When the men of the city arose early in the morning, behold, the altar of Baal was cast down, and the grove was cut down that was by it. And the second bullock was offered upon the altar that was built. They say one to another, Who hath done this thing? And when they inquired and asked, they said, Gideon, the son of Joash, hath done this thing. Then the men of the city said unto Joash, Bring out thy son, that he may die, because he hath cast down the altar of Baal, and because he hath cut down the grove that was by it. Joash said unto all that stood against him, Will ye plead for Baal? Will ye save him? He that will plead for him, let him be put to death, whilst it is yet morning. If he be a god, let him plead for himself. Small g, God, because one hath cast down his altar. Therefore, on that day he called him Jerubbaal, saying, Let Baal plead against him, because he hath thrown down his altar. Then all the Midianites and the Amalekites and the children of the east were gathered together, and went over and pitched in the valley of Jezreel. But the Spirit of the Lord came upon Gideon, and he blew a trumpet, and Abiezar was gathered after him. He sent messengers throughout all Manasseh, who also were gathered after him. And he sent messengers unto Asher, and unto Zebulun, and unto Naphtali. And they came up to meet them. Gideon said unto God, If thou wilt save Israel by mine hand, as thou hast said, behold, I will put a fleece of wool in the floor. And if the dew be on the fleece only, and it be dry upon all the earth beside, then shall I know that thou wilt save Israel by mine hand, as thou hast said. It was so, for he rose up early in the morrow, and thrust the fleece together, and wringed the dew out of the fleece, a bowl full of water. Gideon said unto God, Let not thine anger be hot against me, and I will speak but this once. Let me prove, I pray thee, but this once with the fleece. Let it now be dry only upon the fleece, and upon all the ground let there be dew. God did so that night, where it was dry upon the fleece only, and there was dew on all the ground.